The open-air market in Santa Cruz buzzes with life. The aroma of sizzling fish tacos, caramel-dipped apples, and warm olive bread drifts through the air, blending with the faint tang of seawater from the nearby shore. Stalls stretch along the cobblestone path, brimming with vibrancy. Hand-painted pottery, bundles of lavender tied with twine, trays of ripe persimmons glowing orange in the sunlight. Vendors shout over one another, their voices weaving into the soft hum of a violinist playing near the fountain, her bow dancing across the strings. Amid it all, a small card table stands quietly, unadorned. No banners, no bright colors, just a simple sign in careful, looping handwriting. Homemade cookies, raising money for my chemo. Behind the table sits 12-year-old Madison. She's slight, her shoulders squared despite the weariness etched into her face. The faint circles under her eyes hint at sleepless nights, but she holds herself steady. The sun beats down, a late February warmth unusual even for California, and a sheen of sweat gathers on her brow. She doesn't fidget or slump though. She can't afford to, not with so much riding on this day. Her cookies sit in neat rows, each one tucked into a cellophane bag and sealed with a twist of blue yarn. She'd baked them the night before with her mom, her small hands kneading dough despite the ache in her joints, pausing only to sit on a stool when dizziness crept in. The oven's warmth had filled their tiny kitchen, a fleeting comfort against the cold reality they faced. Now she waits. People drift by. Some pause to read her sign, offering a quick smile before moving on. Others don't even look. Madison doesn't mind. The market is a whirlwind of noise and color, handmade jewelry glinting in the light, a vendor juggling oranges to draw a crowd. A young woman in a flowy skirt stops, fishing a crumpled dollar from her pocket. "I'll take one, hon," she says, her voice kind but hurried. Madison hands her a bag, the exchange clumsy as her fingers fumble. The woman drops the bill into the metal tin and adds, "Feel better soon, okay?" before disappearing into the throng. Madison nods, though she doesn't say what she's thinking. Kindness doesn't pay for scans or medicine. She'd started the day with a spark of hope. When she unfolded the table that morning, she'd pictured easing her mom's burden. Just a little. She'd overheard the phone calls, seen the envelopes piling up on the counter, watched her mom's face tighten as she scrolled through payment plans late at night. But now, with the sun climbing higher and her tin holding barely $15, that spark dims. She shifts in her chair, wincing as stiffness settles into her back. The heat presses harder, and she wipes her forehead with the back of her hand. Maybe this was a mistake. A boy with a gap-toothed grin points at her cookies, tugging his mom's sleeve, but she pulls him toward a stall selling wooden toys. A couple lingers nearby, reading her sign before turning away, their arms full of produce. Madison clenches her hands beneath the table. She doesn't resent them. They're strangers, not obligated to care. But the weight of it all presses down anyway. She'd fought so much already. The nausea, the endless tests, the way her body seemed to turn against her. And now, fighting for this, for a few dollars, feels just as hard. A middle-aged man in a polo shirt stops, squinting at her sign. "You here alone, kid?" he asks, his tone gruff but not unkind. Madison nods. "Yeah, just me." He frowns, scratching his chin. "Someone ought to be with you. This isn't right." Then he walks off, leaving her staring at the ground, her stomach twisting. She knows it isn't right. She shouldn't have to be here, baking cookies to afford a chance at getting better. But what else can she do? She's about to fold the table up, call it quits, when the air shifts. It's subtle, a quiet hum rippling through the crowd. People slow their steps, heads turning toward something behind her. Whispers flutter like leaves. Is that? No way, it can't be. Madison glances over her shoulder, and there he is, tall, lean, moving with a calm that parts the chaos like a blade. He's older now, his face weathered but unmistakable. The piercing eyes, the square jaw, the aura that silences the world around him. Clint Eastwood. The market holds its breath. A vendor pauses mid-shout, a child stops chasing a balloon. Madison's heart stutters. Her mom loved his movies, Dirty Harry, Unforgiven, always saying he had a presence you couldn't fake. And now, here he is, in a faded jacket and boots, stepping right up to her table. He doesn't speak at first, just stands there, hands in his pockets, studying her setup. The cookies, the tin, the sign. His gaze lingers on the words, "raising money for my chemo," and Madison feels exposed, like he sees more than she wants him to. Then he reaches into his jacket. The crowd leans closer, a collective inhale. Madison's hands tremble as she nudges a bag toward him. "They're, $3, she says, her voice small. Clint pulls out not a crumpled bill, but a thick wad of hundreds, crisp, folded tight. He sets them in her tin without flourish, the stack heavy enough to tip it slightly. The whispers explode. Did you see that? That's thousands. Madison stares, her breath snagging. I can't take this, she stammers. It's too much. He picks up a cookie, unwraps it and takes a bite. You bake these? He asks, his voice low, rough as gravel. She nods. Yes, sir. He chews, then gives a faint nod. Solid work. A ghost of a smile flickers across his face. You're stronger than you look, kid, he adds, quieter now, just for her. Then he turns and walks off, leaving her frozen as the market erupts. People surge forward, galvanized. A woman in a denim dress drops a 20 and grabs a bag. Keep it, she says. A bearded man slides a 50 into the tin, waving off the cookies. For you, kid. One after another they come. $10, 100, more. The man who'd questioned her earlier returns, pressing a 20 into her hand. You're not on your own, he says gruffly. Tears prick Madison's eyes as the tin overflows, bills spilling onto the table. She wipes her face, overwhelmed. She'd felt so small, so powerless, but now she feels seen. The last in line is an older woman with silver hair. She hands Madison 100 and says, My son fought cancer. I couldn't save him, but I can help you. Madison clutches the bill, her voice cracking. I'll keep going, she promises. The woman smiles faintly. That's enough. As the market winds down, Madison sits there, hands on the table, the tin a chaotic heap of cash. She laughs, a shaky, real laugh she hasn't heard from herself in months. She'd come hoping to ease her mom's load, but she's leaving with something bigger. Proof that people care. Clint Eastwood didn't have to stop, didn't have to give, but he did, and it sparked a chain reaction she'll never forget. In a world that can feel harsh and distant, this is a reminder. Kindness lives. One act can shift everything. So if this moves you, don't let it fade. Be someone's spark. Share this story. Spread that light. Because the good we do echoes further than we know.